Welcome to Get Motivated with Donato Parisi, a show designed to reach you where you are, focusing on the fact that you can be anything you want and desire. All you have to do is get motivated. If you need a challenge in your life, then look no further. Get Motivated with Donato begins now.
Welcome back to Get Motivated with Donato. It's me, Donato. How you doing? I wanted to reach out to you guys today. Hopefully last week you saw the interview that I had with Dr. Garrett. And hopefully that, ministered to you or spoke to you, encouraged you, motivated you. Over the next couple of months, I'm going to be interviewing a bunch of different people. And these are people that have been in the Triumphant book that you saw with me as far as the interview went last week with Garrett, and others that I've done, like Stories of His Glory. A new one that I'm in right now, which is Reset, Relaunch by Becoming. Another great anthology. So I'm getting encouraged. I'm getting motivated. I'm even though other things, are piling up in sense, right? I should have had a lot of my own books out this year, but look for those because they'll be coming. But there's going to be things in this show over this next season. As I mentioned, this will be a fall season. And there's going to be things that will amaze you with some of these guests and other things that will pop up. And all of these different stories are here to motivate you, here to transform you, to give you the tools to equip you and to start thinking about things differently. And today that's what I want to do. I want to share a couple of things that I thought were kind of pertinent to just our lives in general, to the things that will help motivate us, that will maybe get us beyond some of these things that we're lacking, to change our mindset and our perspective. And that's one of them, right? It's our perspective. That's one of the main things that I want to talk about today, because we got to change our perspective on the way we see things, the way we see ourselves, the way we see others, the way we see the world around us. And, our world's in a turmoil in a sense, right? And we might be the person that could change certain things in our community, possibly in our country, possibly in the world, depending upon what level of influence that you have. But it all starts with us understanding perspective. Now, just give you a quick little story. I'm kind of a big guy, right? 6'3" I'm huge, very tall, a little overweight, but still, I'm a big guy. And I used to play around with the little kids at church and get on my knees and wrestle with them and do all kinds of fun stuff before church started, and I'd carry them around and do all kinds of stuff. And you gotta think of it. These kids were like coming up to my knee, right? They're just small kids. But we always had a blast. But the thing is, our perspective and how it relates to that is we always see the world from our own eyes, right? From our own level. Just like these children, they saw life at their level. They're new to things. They're seeing things for the first time, experiencing things for the first time. They're open, right? They're absorbing everything. But they're stuck at a level that's low to the ground, right? If I pick up one of these children and put them on my shoulder, now their perspective changes. because they're like 7 foot in the air once they're on top of my shoulders, right? And their world looks so much different. They can see things all around. It might be a little scary, right? It might be a little intimidating. Or they might feel like they're on top of the world. And that's where we've got to change our perspective, change our mindset. We have to start looking at things from different angles. You know, our political situation in this country, for example, is crazy, right? But maybe if we stepped back from all of it, despite what our viewpoints and opinions are, and look at things a little bit differently, look at things a little bit more open-minded, try to see things from all the different angles. Maybe we can better react, better respond to the things around us. Possibly not react or respond to some of the things around us, right? But the thing is, it's about changing that perspective, changing the way we see things, and trying to understand it from other people's viewpoints and opinions. One of which is a story in the Bible that I remember so well that I'm sure all of you do. And that's the story of the prodigal son. We always hear it taught from the prodigal son's perspective. You know, he was a screw up, he squandered, he wasted, but then he came to himself, right? We forget that in that story, there's at least 2 other people involved. There's an older son that did everything right. He got a little maybe jealous at the end or something because his father was throwing a big party now for the one that was lost. And then there's the father's perspective. He lost a son. He's worried about the son. He keeps watch for that son all the time. And then when he sees him coming, he throws his arms around him. He kisses him. He puts a ring on him. He puts a robe on him, his feet or sandals on his feet. He throws a big party because his son has returned to him. So all of these different perspectives, right? We can see. And that's what I'm trying to do is get us to look at things around us a little bit differently. It might help to see somebody that maybe is a screw up in your life a little differently. Maybe now you can take a step back and give them a word of encouragement that will change their lives. And that's what we're here to talk about, right? Is getting motivated. But once we get motivated, once we start changing our lives, the things that happen to us along the way, all the tests, the trials, the tribulation, those things turn into our testimonies. And we're supposed to take that information and impart it to others so that we can be an encouragement to them, some motivation to them. Now that gets to my next thing. All of that, even despite our perspectives, one of those things that help us with our perspective is our attitude. So we need to have a proper attitude so that we can have a better perspective on stuff. Right? One of the things in life for us to understand better is, yes, maybe one, a relationship with God, so we can build a more moral and true understanding of how the world works, but our relationship with others and those that impart onto us or that we impart onto. We have to have a better attitude to go along with that perspective. We need to stop thinking in the negative, right? And sometimes it's easy to get there because, man, things just aren't going our way. Especially if you're like me in that type A personality, like I gotta fix everything, right? Sometimes we got to let go and let God. But even if we're not there with our relationship with God, we got to figure out how to do things differently, right? How to center up. And a lot of that starts with our attitude. We got to turn those negatives into positive. We got to stop believing the lies that we've been told year after year, decade after decade, whatever the case might be, that we're no good, that we can't do anything, or whatever, right? We got to stop believing the lies, the nonsense that we were fed since we were children. It doesn't do us any good. So by changing our mindset, by changing our attitude, by changing our perspective, now we can start to impact those around us and improve our own lives, right? If we start developing an attitude of gratitude, we're going to see breakthrough. We're going to see blessing. We're going to see things coming together that we've never seen before, just by changing our attitude on how we view things. And it's simple to start. Like, maybe you're thinking, well, that just sounds good in theory, but you just don't know what I'm going through. Hey, we all go through stuff, right? And none of us are perfect either. What we got to do is start somewhere. My mother-in-law likes to say she's on the right side of the daisies, right? Start there, right? We're alive. Hopefully we're well and healthy, right? So right there's a couple of things that we can be thankful for, that we can have a good attitude about, right? Hopefully we have a roof over our head. Another good thing to be thankful for. A car to drive, perhaps. A job to go to. All of these different things we can be thankful for. We can have the right attitudes about, because we are blessed. And knowing those things can hopefully start turning our lives around, giving us the breakthrough, equipping us with the tools that we need to start having a better attitude, that attitude of gratitude, that thankfulness, that appreciation, to then change our perspective in the way we see things, right? The way we view things. To maybe put away some of our old viewpoints and opinions that are maybe a little clouded or, one-sided, right? To open up, to be open-minded, to see things, if we're that prodigal, see something from the father's viewpoint, see something from the older son viewpoint. For the older son, be able to see things and understand maybe why the prodigal did the things that he did, right? If we're the father, being able to extend that love to his son despite the things that he did. See, if we just look at things from a different angle, it's going to change our lives. It's going to improve who we are. It's going to give us some new insight, change our opinions on certain things, right? Give us a better attitude. And now we can start impacting our community, our country, and our world. God is going to give you different opportunities, or different opportunities to come your way, however you want to see it. But that's the thing. These things will start coming to you by changing that attitude, by changing that perspective, which is all our mindset. And improving on those things will make a world of difference. So I hope this has been a little bit of an encouragement, a little bit of a motivation for you today to get motivated, to get up off the couch, right? To do something with, the world around you and possibly your current situation that you're in. That if you're still alive, it can't be all that bad, right? To give you hope and hopefully those things will start to change in your life. And I wish you the best. I wish blessings upon you. And again, keep and watch. This was a quick little message today for you, but we're going to have so much more coming for you, and the best is yet to come. So until next time, be blessed.
Follow Donato on Facebook and LinkedIn at Donato Parisi, or go to donatomotivates.com. Remember, you can be anything you want and desire. All you have to do is get motivated.